Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the Pals Podcast. My name is George Boutsalis.
And I'm Ricky Liordi. And this week we had the lovely Kylie McLeod on. We talked all things entrepreneurial, health and fitness, and mostly about her new brand, Foreplay Love Butter.
Speaking of Foreplay Love Butter, let that segue, Rick. Classic Rick segue. We're gonna be running a contest for Foreplay Love Butter, Kylie's awesome product. We are going to announce the details to the contest on the Pals Podcast Instagram page at the Pals Podcast. So give it a follow, and the contest will follow when we upload this episode. Guys, this is a lot of fun, a lot of big energy, a lot of GVO. My pal,
LFG.
let's go.
Boom.
You're not alright. I'm not alright. I like to drink and smoke and take away.
Well, Kylie, long awaited. Welcome to the Pals Podcast.
Thank you guys both so much for having me. I'm so excited.
You got your Pals shirt on too?
I wear it
Gotta
every day.
represent.
Wear it to sleep.
Honestly, they're very comfy though.
Very.
Like,
They actually are. Well done.
very happy with the way it
Great
came out. Shout out to
quality.
Eli for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They turned out nice. I haven't worn mine in I think a couple months. Maybe
To
a
be
month.
honest, I just
Since
picked
we
up
got
another
it.
one. I couldn't find mine, so I just grabbed another one.
I couldn't show up here without it. I would be
Oh,
a bad
Terrible.
supporter.
respect.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You know what? Yeah, shout out. Whoever hasn't seen them, because we're live now, YouTube. If anyone wants one, hit us
Kylie,
up.
give us a turn.
I'm on this camera.
Rick's new here.
Yeah,
Guys, not used to the setup. So welcome. How
Thanks, guys.
how have things been with you for the last couple months? What have you been up to? How you been keeping busy?
Yeah, things are good. Things are, as we were saying downstairs, just things are interesting. It's interesting times. And I think, making sure that every single day you're kind of keeping your mental health at the forefront has been like such a huge priority to me, and just, trying to keep consistent with my routines that I had pre-COVID. And yeah, things are good. Things are different. Speak up.
You're good. He's
Sorry.
Rick, no, you're good. Rick's gonna adjust the mic a little bit.
Got it.
Hold on. You're good. He's got to raise it up. I told you he's new here. You guys are making fun of me. And Rick can't get the thing right. And he's the one that always sets it up. A little higher. Go a little higher. There, that's good. Just talk it right into the center.
Got it.
Yeah, we're good.
Sorry, it's my first
No.
time.
It's not your fault. It's Rick's fault.
Yeah,
You guys should
yeah.
know better. Okay, we're good.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. So you're saying staying busy and
Honestly taking every day kind of day by day and trying to
Yeah.
stay as busy and as productive and as, with full momentum as possible, and trying just to come out of this better and stronger and more fit.
yeah, you better sell. Well, how you been keeping fit? I know you're big into the F45 and everything. So like,
Mhm.
Are you? Really?
Yeah, good
I
one, Rick.
remember.
Oh wait, cue that. That's Rick's joke to come back to.
Are?
We made fun. I don't know if you heard that last one we brought up when we were talking on one of the episodes, and we made mention of how Rick likes to loop jokes back. So
I love
Oh
doing
my
call him
that.
that one. That's his
Yeah.
joke for sure.
No, I gotta get a better one
So
than that.
I actually remember chatting with Ricky about F45 and trying to convince him to come downtown for an 8 a.m. workout. And every week he was like, yeah, I'll come. And then it was like the next week. And we just went in this cycle of like he never showed up. So
But I did do one downtown. Actually, me and Georgie did it.
No,
Liberty Village.
Heineken 0.0, like the
well, you didn't
alcohol
do
free.
one with me. So
So it
you're
doesn't count.
lost.
Doesn't count.
Yeah,
Rude,
that one
Richard.
didn't count. But yeah, trying to stay fit. I mean, prior to COVID, like my routine, I was such, a morning routine person, like super strict on how I start my day and all of that good stuff. And I've tried to keep consistent as much as possible throughout all of this. But in terms of fitness, I'm still definitely doing F45. I'm doing all the F45 live. So instead of doing 6 a.m., now I'm doing noon. In the morning, I kind of spend doing like a 5K walk just to get coffee and kind of get out and stretch my legs prior to kind of working all day. So it's been really helpful, I think, as I kind of mentioned earlier, just keeping mental health at the forefront. For me, fitness coincides with mental health. Like fitness is
Sure.
like therapy for me. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently.
Nice.
Literally, I was just saying the exact same thing last episode. If your physical health is not good, then it makes your mental health suffer, and vice versa. If your mental health is not like strong and intact, like it makes your physical health suffer. So the two go so hand in hand, and working out, even though it doesn't directly benefit your mental health, it does, because it is like,
yeah.
it's therapeutic almost. In a sense,
yeah.
like some people are going to listen to that and be like, you're absolutely insane. Working out is not therapeutic.
Depends on what the workout is.
Once
but
you
yeah.
start to get into it and start like, again, for me, it's different because I've been doing it for so long, but it becomes my me thing, like my me time almost, right? Like even some people I know that just find it and you see these massive transformations online. It's because they were able to create that therapeutic like feeling when they work out. And as I say this, we got some guy on his balcony doing like jumping
jacks?
lunges. Yeah, jumping
Should we
lunges.
catch him on the video?
I don't know if we can even catch him.
Yeah, guys, good for him. Go
yeah,
you.
But
shout
you
out.
actually, I listened to your podcast, your both podcasts, just you two yesterday, and you said something that resonated with me majorly, and that was one thing you would kind of go back and tell yourself was, you know, make your mental health as much as a priority as your physical health. And I kind of pondered that throughout the rest of my walk when I was listening yesterday. And I just, it's so true. I think, you know, so many people are kind of looking for different avenues and exercises that work for them. And unless you find something that is going to work for you, like totally understand F45 isn't for everyone. Running's not for me. Like, you know, I have my things that I love and that I gravitate towards. And if I didn't love those things, I would never be consistent and I would never do them. So it's provides so much mental clarity, as well as like is such an opportunity for you just to grow stronger mentally and physically. So it's always been like a huge, like non-negotiable for me.
You know what? Actually, and this is a little bit off topic, but you said you were listening yesterday morning. It's like, Kylie's always like one of our first listeners. I love it.
I'm a fan.
So we release usually Tuesdays and Fridays, but we actually release Monday night and Thursday night, and we just won't post about it that we release the episode till the next day because for some people it takes like 24 hours for it to load on their phones and stuff, which is super weird. But I usually I'll wait a good like 12 to 14 hours, and like the other time when we shouted you out randomly, you messaged like, "I love the shout out." I'm like, Georgie, I love Kylie.
He messaged me. He's like, guy's the best. She always listens and messages me. He's like, see, this is what makes me want to keep doing this.
Like, I know my mom listens as soon as it's released. Like I know George's mom probably does. Our boys don't even listen right away.
Oh, no.
They'll listen like, "Oh, by the way, I love that episode from 3 weeks ago." I'm like, "What? You just listened to
So
it?"
like I've been obsessed with podcasts for so long. So every single day, even in the morning, like I'll just refresh to see what's new, like what's out there, who's interviewing
Did
who,
the pals release a new episode?
conversations, who are the pals talking to today? But yeah, that's always kind of been one of my major avenues for educating myself and learning and hearing interesting conversations. So I'm always just like literally refreshed as if it was an Instagram feed to see what new things I can pick up and who's talking to who.
What's your go-to podcast?
I was just gonna ask.
Like, give us your top three.
So I have outside of you, obviously.
Good answer. Good answer.
I had to stop. No, so I have a couple. So there's one, and this might be more directed towards the female audience, but one that's called The Skinny Confidential. So it's a him and her show. It's a woman, her name's Lauren Everett, and her husband Michael Bostic, and they have this amazing relationship banter, and they interview the most like intelligent, intellectual, just inspiring subject matter experts in any industry. So it can be like health and wellness or skincare or, you know, like business leaders, entrepreneurs. It's kind of this interesting space of they're just trying to learn as well as I'm sure you guys are too, just as much as they can from the people that are open to coming on the show. I love Aubrey Marcus. He's so great for like, I wouldn't say I listen to him all the time now. I think some of his content is like a little, he's super spiritual. So it's sometimes a lot of the same thing. But he's great for like personal development. I love Joe Rogan, but you know, the ones that are more focused on science and health and not so much comedians.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Gary Vee for like quick tips and tricks of like personal development focused stuff. I don't know. There's honestly so many.
That's good. You listen to like a wide variety, right?
There's not, it's all around the same theme though, which I would say is like health and wellness, personal development, entrepreneurship, you know, sales, or like, you know,
just overall positivity and stuff like that. Yeah. I would honestly agree with a lot of those. I obviously like Joe Rogan. I'm a big fan, but I agree. Like the comedian ones, like if it's like a weekend drive and I'm going up north, I'll throw one on that I think I'll laugh at. Like when he's got like Joey Diaz on or some of his buddies.
Like I know him, but some of them I'm like, I have no clue who that is. So, like I'm not going to spend an hour and a half, even though it's probably amazing and I'm not bashing them, but I don't want to go through the process of learning.
No, but that's actually what's crazy about like podcasts too, because when you first came in, we were talking about like, you know, us in this space too. Like we're not just competing with people from like, not competing, but we're not like, I guess in a way it's competing. Like it's not just us with like people releasing podcasts in Toronto or people of our demographic. Like podcasts, you can listen anytime. You're not restricted to like geographic area and all that stuff. So there's so much you can take in, and like you can really be diverse in what you listen to. Like whatever the flavor of the day is, if you will, you can kind of touch on, which is pretty cool.
And verse like, you know, having to read, and I'm not an avid reader. Like I've read amazing books.
Neither is Rick.
Yeah. And like,
Not ashamed to admit
I
it.
see
Don't.
the value and I love it. And I love people that do that. And I think, it's such a great way to learn, but there's something about passive listening where you're engaged, but you're picking up, the things that you want to hear and the things that really speak to you and resonate with you. So I think it makes it easier than like reading a full-on book and going line by line. And
For sure.
even audiobooks or Audible or whatever is another great tool. But yeah, podcasts would be my
Your
number
brain
one.
also triggers when you hear certain like keywords, right? Like if you're thinking about, if you listen to a podcast because you wanted to gain knowledge on like a certain topic and you're like passively listening to it while you're doing other things, your brain will subconsciously pick up on those words and you'll start to pay attention even though you don't realize it. It's crazy.
Sometimes I'll even listen to an episode that I really am a fan of like 3 or 4 times, like until it really sinks in. I'm like, there were so many like nuggets in that podcast that I just want to continue.
Like the Pals podcast.
Yeah, like
course.
every episode you guys post, I listen to it maybe 5 or 6 times. Like I'm just really trying to like pick it up and absorb.
Appreciate it, Kai. Appreciate
All
it.
that value.
You listeners hearing that?
You know what's funny though? Like, so recently I got back into Audible. Like, I do like to read, but the problem is I'll go through like spurts where I'll read like, I'll start a book, I'll read like really good for like 2 days, and then I'll fade off a bit, and then I'll, up and down.
You like lose interest a little bit.
Yeah, because it fades in different parts. And like, I'm like, okay, I kind of got the gist of this. I'm good.
I'll just watch the movie.
Yeah, honestly, it's true. And like, it goes through like through waves, whatever. But I find that like Audible, I'll listen to a book for a bit and I like it. But like I'll zone out too much and I'll miss too much of it. Whereas podcasts, I put one on, I feel like I'm more engaged because I think the fact that people are talking, just being able to sit and listen to people talk is very different.
Open dialogue.
Audible is like I have to sit and almost listen to a lecture for that whole time, and I don't feel like I engage as much with it. Whereas like podcasts, listening to people talk is something, I don't know, something different about it.
I feel like listening to a book is more of a like a lecture, whereas listening to podcasts is more like your TA talking to you. Back in like university or college.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like it is.
Yeah, it's very true.
Well, speaking about entrepreneurial spirits,
Kai. Great segue, Rick.
Well, no, we were talking about some of our favorite.
I've listened to the other episodes. You're getting better at those.
Yeah. Rick, honestly, I'm not even gonna roast them. I love it. I always just know where he's like, okay. Speaking of this topic that I want to talk about,
I want to get into it because I love it.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Foreplay. Yeah, let's
right here.
Do a live taste test. So tell us the story how it started. How did you come up with this? Or actually, no, tell us what it is.
Okay.
And then tell us the story behind it.
Okay. 2-part question. So I'm the co-founder of Foreplay Love Butter, which is an all-natural 6-ingredient coconut oil-based lube. So, I mean, it is one of those things that, people are like, how the heck did you come up with this concept? And like, where did the idea come from? Because like, how do you make a sex lube? And Tom, who's my business partner, him and I have always had the most incredible relationship. We've been best friends since high school. I've known him for over 13 years. And him and I have always wanted to kind of get into business together. And I think, the more we thought about different concepts, we would kind of scratch them out and be like, that one's not for us, or whatever whatever we were looking towards designing together. We just didn't think it was a great fit. Oh no, what happened?
Should we need to put it like on a, do you have to plug it in?
Sorry, you're good.
They've messed something up.
I don't know what happened. When did that go off?
I know.
I didn't see.
It happened to me too, though.
Sorry, you're good.
Anyway, we've basically always had the most open and like candid, transparent type of relationship. Really everything from, workouts to fitness to business ventures to relationships, family, like kind of everything in between. So one night we were out for drinks somewhere on Queen.
Spicy margs for sure.
1,000%. What other drink? Extra spicy, half sweet margaritas. So we were kind of shooting the shit, and I was in a relationship at the time, and I was just kind of bantering with Tom because that's how our relationship is. And I was like, dude, have you ever used like coconut oil? Straight up, have you ever used coconut oil for sex? Like, it's honestly the best thing ever. Like, go home and try it.
Second best thing.
Okay, well now it's the second best thing ever. Yeah,
it was. Now is formerly.
Good catch. Yeah. He was like, no, I haven't, and obviously things progressed, and then
drinks,
couple more beverages, and then we just kind of got into the weeds of like, just thinking about it, I guess, more in depth, like, we both found there is such a massive gap for this type of product in the market. Typically, when you think about, sex lube, you're thinking something slimy and synthetic and toxic and with a bunch of fillers and something that
KY jelly kind of stuff.
Yeah, or like Trojan, or it's something that's not branded chic and not something that you would be confident and proud to say you use as a consumer, right? So my background prior to, my sales role right now and Foreplay is in branding and marketing. So between Tom and I, we kind of put our heads together and we're like, let's make something that is, enticing and attractive to the end user, something that we would want to use. Because I think number one, when you're developing a concept or a product to launch, like, when you're building something from scratch, you really have to be obsessed with the product in order to see it through. Like you're not going to create something that you're not an avid fan of. So kind of Foreplay came to life. We worked with a food scientist out in Barrie, and there were a million steps in between from getting it to kind of point A to point Z. And you think about starting a product and you're like, you think it's like, or at least I thought personally, for me, I was like, oh yeah, like it's not going to be that challenging. We're going to like find someone to make it and we're going to package it and we're going to do the thing. And it ended up taking 11 months to get from kind of conception to execution, which isn't that long, but we were both working full time. So, I mean, it's a good amount of time to get something off the ground, but yeah, it's been an interesting ride. I'm so proud of it. It's, made in Canada, it's vegan, it's non-GMO, it's sugar-free, gluten-free, edible, like sweetened with stevia and vanilla. It's 6
It literally
ingredients.
tastes like the icing of a cupcake.
Yeah, and it's
Don't
not
tell
like
me that.
Hey, sugar free though. You're good now,
Yeah.
brother.
You know what? Actually, let me try this. But like, honestly, like, maybe put it in front of this camera so they can see too, because this one's a little far away.
Yeah.
So maybe like hold it in front of, or like, Kai, do you want to hold it up so they can see? Yeah. Honestly, when I said to her when you pulled it out, like the packaging, like
yeah, it's super chic.
it's like very minimal and like very cool.
So the one thing, or the thing we most commonly say is it's really a multi-purpose unicorn. So it's like primarily used for sex, which is obvious, but it's also can be a lip balm, it can be a moisturizer, it can be like a massage oil. Yeah, it's multi-purpose for sure, and it's discreet and it's designed that way so that
It actually tastes like cupcake icing, kind of like.
Yeah. My girlfriend said it tastes like vanilla Dunkaroos.
Honestly, guys, like
George's gonna be putting it on his toast.
I honestly thought it'd be kind of weird to
do a
try like something like
contest.
this, but that's actually amazing. I know we should definitely do that.
And like if you look at the packaging as well, like it's super kind of incognito and discreet, right? Because I think
it doesn't
overall, when you think of lube, it's kind of still a taboo topic, and this product really takes a step forward and lets you know that it doesn't have to be kind of grimy and gross, and people don't need to be uncomfortable having this on their nightstand when your parents come over. Like it's not something that you're ashamed of, right?
Yeah.
So it overall enhances the entire experience. So
honestly,
excited
really,
for you to try it.
Really cool. Yeah,
No, I've tried it before.
yeah. I know.
I haven't.
I texted Rick and I'm like, can I get your feedback?
I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, no one's asking me for feedback.
yeah.
No, but honestly, this is
Casual
awesome.
low-key
But
roast himself.
why? You can't laugh at yourself. Who can you laugh at? What I do want to ask is like, because you said you worked with a food scientist. So getting the gluten-free vegan, like being able to say that on the packaging, does that have to go with like?
It's not trademarked. Yeah. So,
but it is like all the ingredients and all that stuff. You focused on doing that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the ingredients are 100% organic coconut oil. It has vitamin E. It has stevia for taste. It has vanilla essence for scent. It has a property called calendula flower oil, which is an antibacterial product. And then olive oil for kind of consistency and grip and glide and all that.
I love olive oil. Everything.
It's basically a salad.
Salad with a little bit of food taste. No.
Yeah. And the taste as well, it's not overpowering. So it's quite subtle, but it makes a difference. Like it just enhances the entire experience. Like you feel confident using it, knowing that, everything's going to taste good. So
yeah.
This
is very, very cool.
Thank you.
When you were making it, was there any times like, obviously you got to test it out.
Oh yeah.
So
this is
like, are you coming home with like little bottles of like, like cloudy substance, like, hey babe, like you ready?
Literally that.
Yeah. You were the human guinea pig for all. Well, you and your partner. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So this is the fourth iteration that we went back and forth to the drawing board with the food scientist. So when we went to him, we were like, "This is our idea. This is the product, the ingredients."
Sorry, how do you even find a food scientist? Like, is that on like you Google it?
So Tom actually
need to make
him.
a new source of like lube.
It was based
please
on
help.
a recommendation or a referral. So we had other people in the space, not specifically with lube per se, but with other products like sports drinks and nutrition supplements and stuff like that. So Tom had reached out to a couple colleagues or networks in the realm or in the industry, and we were able to kind of tap into their network and leverage this guy out in Barrie. And he was amazing. He made 4 different iterations of the product. The first one, do you guys remember Body Shop?
Yeah.
And you remember that like orange flavored like it looked like whipped cream. It looked like
I don't remember. I didn't go in there that
like-
much.
Like what was it? It was
like a body cream, but it was orange. And it's a tube. Anyway, any ladies listening, you know what I'm talking about. And like when I say it, I can still smell the orange. Anyway, so it was like this whipped like butter, but not. It was basically hand balm, whatever.
Okay.
So the first one we got, it was that. It was truthfully like hand balm that you had to kind of dig for, not in like a squeeze bottle. Like there were a bunch of different things we changed.
How'd you go home to your boyfriend that day? Be like, babe, scoop out a piece of this.
Well, like the worst part was like it literally tasted like, like Windex. Like it was just so off on so many levels. So I was really discouraged, and I was like, Christ, like
can't suck a
like
dick
I
with
was
this
like,
taste.
I'm throwing in the towel. This is not what we had in mind.
you were like trying to say that so like not like all the way say
Nonchalant.
it. I can't say. You were like so.
Keep me up for that one.
Yeah, no, that was anyway. Sorry, continue.
Yeah,
That was
so
funny.
I mean, there were a bunch of different versions, but this is the one we landed on, and we're super happy with how it turned out. And we've had the most incredible feedback, and it's actually kind of hilarious that the sales are up so much just based on COVID. And I think it's people are home, right? Like, okay.
Why don't you just say it? You just swear on a podcast.
I know. I try not swearing though. It's
I
one of my
know.
New Year's
You're
resolutions.
always trying not to swear.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
your New Year's
It's my New Year's
resolution
resolution.
every
I'm
year.
Yeah, but off
Yeah,
camera, like, I
honestly.
swear so much.
But I've been
Off
trying.
camera.
It's okay, as long as you're
I'm trying.
better every
Making
day,
a
one
conscious
step better
effort,
every
yeah.
day.
What was when was the moment that you knew that you had figured it out? Like you knew that this is the
Yeah.
one that I want to like.
It was honestly, we just knew. We saw it, we smelt it, we tasted it. We're like, done.
That's it.
Like, pack it in.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Like, literally LFG. yeah. Like,
GBO?
literally. Yeah. Yeah. And it was such a fun process. And I know, like, Ricky and I, before we were talking about my first kind of when I dipped my toe into the entrepreneurship.
I want to get into that after too, because
yeah.
like personally, again, I don't care about bikinis because I don't wear them.
Yeah.
But I used to love your bikini
Yeah.
things. Like I remember almost
Yeah.
buying my exes those. I was like, because that was
I
what
think
5-6
you
years
did.
ago. I probably did.
And he's referring
Doesn't
to
remember.
my prior company that was dissolved, but it was called Forever and Avo.
Forever now. I was trying to think of
And
it today.
yeah, it was a concept that
Bikini.
my ex-boyfriend and I had created, which was a female bathing suit company.
Yeah.
And
That was probably dating back, what, 5 years ago now? 6 years ago?
maybe 4. I think
Yeah.
20. No, I don't know. Maybe 3. 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, the concept behind that business was really just more so he was supporting me and helping me kind of get into the entrepreneurial
Get your feet wet,
field.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I needed that, and it was training wheels for me in order to be able to do something like this, which is actually my own product. So the concept behind Forever and Avo was actually a drop shipping method. Do you guys know about drop shipping at all?
No.
So
Is that no? Sorry, I don't.
so
actually.
essentially, it's when the retailer doesn't actually host the product. So like
that's
we
what I
had
was
no
thinking, yeah.
inventory, and essentially
People
the
buy.
manufacturer of the product will, or the wholesaler or the manufacturer will actually ship the goods directly to the consumer. So we hosted no inventory, we hosted no product. We the challenge with that was really just, we weren't coming up with the bathing suit concepts and designs ourselves. So like we were purchasing bathing suits and then reselling them based on the styles and selection that we liked. So if there was a return, let's say like it didn't fit or something like that, we would really have to eat the cost because we would be reshipping a new size, but then because it's bathing suits, you can't resell. So it just became a little bit chaotic. And again, like that was super successful and I learned so much. I felt like I learned like 4 years of university into that one project that we did for 1 year. Like it was crazy the amount of insight I gained just into business and, being consumer facing and, what really makes people attracted to a brand. So yeah, everything I think in life serves its purpose, but that was really helpful and definitely brought way more skill and understanding to this new product that's all ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Were you guys going to do any like sex shows or like what were the exciting things? I'm assuming.
Oh my gosh, actually, so not a sex show.
What do you
We're
what do you mean by
fully-
sexual?
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
sorry.
like people like
No, no,
like,
you know, like
one of those like
you know,
people on
like-
horse shows or something.
no, do you know like they have them at like the Toronto Metro?
We're talking about
Convention
like
Center?
a
Yeah,
convention.
this what
Sex
they call them, like
convention.
Yeah,
it's
there
like,
are those for
okay,
sure.
whatever.
Well, you say
these-
sex show. There's gonna be a couple ways.
I
what you
guess
mean.
so,
So
yeah.
to be a vendor at or like sell product at one of those shows, I think it's like upwards of $20,000 to $50,000, and obviously we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Because
After this
you have to pay for your
podcast, you are.
footprint.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I love that. But yeah, we've definitely used our network and like in terms of influencers, you know, people that resonate with the brand and people that are okay kind of posting a little bit more like cheeky, risky content because not everyone's comfortable with it. Like it's still, it's
Taboo a
still,
little
yeah,
bit.
like it is and it isn't. Like I think people, you know, are fine with it, but then there's some people it's like are not fine with it. So we
some
we
people
never
that, like,
want to
don't want their parents
offend
knowing that
anyone
they
or
have
make
sex,
anyone
yeah.
uncomfortable. Like we totally get it. But we recently reached out to this porn star
Heck yeah.
on from Pornhub.
Come on.
I need to show you her, but I don't have my my phone on me. But I'll send you guys.
Our
her
followers
profile
are
after.
just like
Her
our
name's,
listeners, like, who is it? Who is
Nicole
it?
something. Anyway, so she did.
I don't know. porn
We
stars
send
by
her
name.
product and like we shoot our shot, right? Like obviously we're
Heck
still
yeah.
small. Like
Shoot your shot.
what we have 5,000 followers on Instagram. Like fuck it, let's just go for
Yeah,
it. And
We got
like
1,000
see
on
if-
this podcast.
Yeah.
If you see our DMs, we're messaging
Roll it.
everybody.
Yeah,
You're
why
a professional
not?
quarterback.
Shots.
Literally.
Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, I'm
Maybe
signing
we
your
should mention
DMs.
porn star here on the podcast. Then
Shoot your
cross branding.
shot 2020 is
Yeah,
the vibe.
100%.
But I think so. Yeah, we reached out to a bunch of people on Pornhub, and we were just like, "Fuck it, like let's see if anything comes from this." And then this girl got back to us. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. Like, I would love to support your brand. Like, send me some product, and I'll post about it." She did 2 videos, basically demoing the product fully. Like,
Wait, time out.
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's
Okay.
describe this.
No, no, no.
How is she demoing this product? Like
Self is it porn? Like shooting
talking
a porno?
about using it for butt stuff, like using it in her porn videos.
Wow,
we're in the
heck
shot.
yeah.
Like we made the cut.
Okay,
friends.
then I
Yeah.
want to ask you then. Does it?
I'll send it to you.
Do you post like? So then,
guys watch it a
how
couple
do you-
times, eh?
I have. I've screenshotted every freaking scene in that
It's like
thing.
you send it to the boyfriend, like, hey,
I sent
babe,
it to my
we're
parents.
trying
I
this,
was
like,
like,
say to your parents, like, Mom,
Look,
can you
I
believe it?
made
I
it.
made it.
Yeah.
It's like
No, that
Cheeks getting
lit-
clapped.
No, literally, that is what
That's
happened.
awesome, though.
Yeah,
But, like,
it's just- it's fun. Why not?
Yeah.
Like,
man, it's like the
whatever.
first time we got like a big celeb or like an Olympian on our
outside
podcast.
of me.
Outside of
Yeah.
you,
Of
Blissful
Yeah.
Belly.
Yeah.
That's like when we got our first like couple big ones, we're like, man, this is huge. Like,
Yeah.
and it's funny how many people are just like, yeah, we'll do it. Like Erica Branson, guy who plays in the NHL.
I know,
like,
he's Sarah.
Sarah Sweetnam's husband, right? So like,
he
I
was
just
a really nice guy.
yeah, I just messaged her. I was like, hey, would your
They're so
husband
sweet.
be
They're the best.
interested in
people
coming
ever.
on? Yeah, no problem. It's like even some of the
people
other
are just
guys.
willing, and like
Yeah.
it's great exposure. I mean, for both parties, right? So for her, like, I mean, she gets free lube. For us, we get a porn star. It's like seems even. So
Definitely
fair
seems even.
exchange.
Fair exchange.
That's actually very cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's honestly really,
Yeah.
that's a crazy thing to think. Like, we, like, when you say shoot your shot, like, we're throwing DMs to, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Football
people we like.
players, hockey players.
But I mean, obviously, for this to gain
actors.
traction, like, you want to get people like big name celebrities and people
Yeah.
working in the sex industry. So, like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, you would never think that there's like DM like a porn star, but like, hey, can you use this product? And then goes and uses it. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
So yeah,
That's
it's
really
been it's
cool.
been really fun. Obviously,
We're gonna
as
Google-
as you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kylie's fired up right now. She's like low key texting her boyfriend. I'm gonna be home soon.
Keep the bed warm. Just kidding.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
So that was
I'm just thinking like the most obvious
We-
way you came up with it was
Yeah.
by
Yeah, like-
doing it.
like just
I
I think it's like foreplay or
But that's what I mean. Like, it's
you know what I
foreplay.
mean?
That's why, like, it's
yeah,
double-
it's like a
like,
double
play on words.
double chondria.
Whatever. Yeah. Play on
Play on words. Double media. What's a play on words?
No, I think what she said double con.
Double
What?
chondria?
No.
No, am I thinking
Hypochondria?
hypochondria?
No, that's what George is. Hypochondria.
Oh, big time.
Big time.
I can't remember the
I'm gonna use this.
the term.
Did you guys ever have any like moments? Actually, sorry, you didn't even answer George's question. The name.
Yeah, that was like one of the many names we were kind of,
Playing with. What were the other names?
circulating. Well, I don't want to give them away because what if someone tries to copy
Fair,
us?
fair.
I think it's really cool because like I'm looking at the back and you guys got like Foreplay Butter for the website at
Mhm.
Foreplay Butter. Like you guys got all like the names and everything, which is pretty like it's pretty cool. So like it's unique, right? You were kind of
Yeah.
the first to get to
When-
it.
And it's for everyone, right? Like we were purposely gender neutral, and like we say it's for him and her, him and him, you and you. Like we're really trying to build a community around a non-binary culture, which I think is really important. So
Sure.
it's definitely at the forefront of our values, and I think the packaging kind of speaks to that as well. So
Yeah.
Did you ever have any moments
Expect a text from me later on tonight. Georgie,
Did
how
you like
is
it?
it?
throw away your moisturizer.
Not tonight. What? Yeah, what? Come on, man. I'll let you know.
Okay,
yeah.
I was
Okay,
gonna
in the
say,
foreseeable future. Yeah.
Did you ever have any moments where you're like, I don't know if I can do this? Like, I don't know if this is
my
going to
God.
work.
Well, between this, which is a full-time job, and juggling my like director of sales
Your
role
actual
with
job,
a team, which is also like super intense.
And then the working out and margaritas.
and then yoga sometimes, like, and yeah, the margaritas really take the toll on the old balance. Yeah. But yeah, so many times I think, just like anyone, like there's days where you're like, oh my God, how is this even gonna, how am I gonna survive the day, basically? But I think just, one thing that I've always kept top of mind is just resilience, and knowing that, you have to take things day by day. Like not every day is going to be 100% amazing. It's not always going to be terrible, but it's not always going to be great. And I think just finding, the light at the end of the tunnel, which is like, as long as you do your best and, you keep acting and you keep moving forward and you execute and you're resilient, then, you can't really fail. So yeah, it's a daily thing.
daily
to
thing.
answer
Well,
your
that's all you
question.
can do. You have to take it
It's
day
just
by day, right? Like you
perspective,
have to have like kind
And
of the
perseverance.
Yeah.
you have to have that big picture of you where you see like what the goal is and what the
Yeah.
vision is, and like there's going to be
It's like you're
roadblocks. And you just
planting your like blocks, right? And
Yeah.
you're just
And there's,
trying-
it's
just trying
okay to
walk
have
the
bad
top.
days, right? Like I know some people that when they have a bad day, it's like the end of the world. And I get that because we've all had those days, but it's just a bad day and that's all it is. Or
Yeah.
you're having a bad week and you can't get things right, but that's all it is. It's a bad week. It doesn't mean that your idea is bad or your job sucks or your life sucks. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's just you're having a
So-
bad day and it's so totally normal in life.
So I heard something like maybe a couple months ago that I've really been trying to implement. And I mean, I don't know who said this, so I didn't say it and I don't want to take any credit, but someone said,
Oh, don't worry. I butchered quotes
Yeah.
like so many times on this podcast.
yeah, I've heard.
Like, butchered.
You remember I listened to every episode, right?
Guys, like, yeah, episode 1, 2,
we
3.
actually just kind of stopped bringing shit up. You
Episode
noticed
1
that?
through 14.
Because I was butchering them so bad, I probably just subconsciously stopped.
Yeah.
Sorry, give us the quote.
So something that someone had said that I thought was really valuable is like, you're allowed to be upset, but give yourself 5 minutes to be angry. Like if you need to like scream at the top of your lungs, like stomp around your house, like, get angry with yourself, feel sorry for yourself, feel like the way you need to feel, allow yourself that 5 minutes of kind of space, just to kind of work through the emotion. And then once the 5 minutes is up, literally set a timer on your Apple Watch. Oh my gosh, I'm doing a workout right now, but I'm not even.
Wow, this girl, she's trying you're trying to beat me in our competition
high
this
my
week
heart
for
rate
sure.
is right now. I just set this to a 9-minute workout.
You're
Sorry.
totally you did that just
No,
to
I
catch up to me.
I promise.
We're
I did
all
not
in a
do that.
competition. I'm in a
Anyway,
competition with both these
Just
guys. this
allow
week.
yourself the space to be angry for 5 minutes, and once that's over, pick yourself back up. Don't feel sorry for yourself anymore, and kind of move on and onward and upward. So
Yeah.
That is good advice, though. If you think about, because
Yeah.
there's times where something bad happens in the morning, like first thing in the morning, you let it
sets the
ruin
tone of the
your
day.
day
Yeah.
almost. And it's like if you just take 5 minutes, like stand, get mad, yell, whatever, and then get it out and kind of reset after that. Wow, Kylie just finished work. Oh yeah.
How long was it?
Somehow that was a high intensity interval training session.
So I was just coming to the Pals podcast. Shit gets going.
Did that automatically start because
No,
of
you
my
got-
heart rate?
Maybe, I don't know.
I was so heated about that point. And Ricky and I are also in a competition right now for 1 week, and he's crushing
Dusty.
me.
Same. I'm down right now. I'm pissed.
Oh.
Down
Look at my
200 or
stats.
something.
You come
I'm
at
a-
the king, that's what happens.
I'm new to Apple
At me.
Watch.
Oh, I love it. It's basically the only reason I like this watch is for the working out part.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Like I bought it
And
to
the time.
swim.
I think it motivates me to be
I bought it
honest,
to
work out.
swim because it's waterproof and it can tell how many laps you do, which like I thought was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's basically a $500 lap counter. But now I use it for basically working out, and like every morning my phone goes off, my watch goes off because that's all I have. Notifications are off except for people's workouts.
I'm the exact
Really?
same. No Instagram, no text.
on my phone,
All
on
it
my
is
watch.
workouts for
nothing
my friends.
goes,
Yeah.
nothing vibrates. Like text message, no. Phone calls, no. Just workouts.
I
And
love that you're
it.
like, I mean, like if you have an Apple Watch, like you're just in this daily competition with yourself.
Everybody.
Like,
Oh, not-
what are
oh,
my
I'm gonna-
steps at? How many
Like, I'm
calories
competition
have
with
I burned
everybody.
today? How many
Before
hours
I go to
have
bed,
I
I literally
stood?
look at
Yeah.
I look at every because basically over the last 2 weeks I've had maybe like 20 or 30 people like on my Apple Watch
Friends,
network, whatever,
share
friends list.
Yeah.
And before I go to bed every night, I look at every single person saying, I'm like, hey, how'd that person do? That person.
Okay,
do
well,
that?
don't judge me for it. Sometimes
I don't judge,
Well,
but I'm
you know
just
what's-
like curious.
You know what's interesting? Like people always say that I'm sorry, that's very general. People always say, but like, like one of the common things is like, technology is like, when you're a kid, you're told frying your brain and people attach their phones and attach to all this technology. But I honestly, when you think about it, like one of the silver linings is like, I personally feel like I work out much more and probably harder because I have it on my wrist and I can actually track it. Like it almost gamifies it and makes it like, well, it does gamify because you're competing against yourself, like you said, but you can also see what your friends are doing and it kind of pushes you. So, like there's that.
It's a friendly competition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
if you're a competitive person,
I hate seeing Ricky beat me.
that could
with,
really hurt people if they're not competitive. Like that would turn people off completely, right? Like all three of us are the loudest people I know and the most competitive. So.
Yeah.
No, but even so me and George are in a competition. We started on Saturday or Sunday. And I worked out and I went for a run and somehow I was like 1,000 calories short of my goal. And I'm like, how? So I literally did a 15-minute ab circuit at like 10 p.m. on Sunday.
Calories short.
I was 100 calories short of my goal. Did I? Sorry.
Yeah, it's also like.
So I was 100 calories short.
1,000
I'm like,
calories of crunches. Like, how do you know how hard that is to do?
well, no, that's impossible. But yeah, not impossible. But you know what I'm saying. So I did a 15-minute ab circuit at basically 10 p.m. just so I'd get it. And then I didn't know the stand rule for anyone listening. You can't just stand. You have to actively move
for 2 minutes, right? Oh, I thought it was 2 minutes.
It's a minute,
oh my gosh.
1 minute each hour.
I'm not doing myself.
So I literally, before I got in bed, I
No,
stood
it's
up.
not.
Yeah, it is. You have to actively move, stand and move for a minute.
Each hour.
One each hour. And you have to do it 12 hours a day to get that.
I thought I actually, but that doesn't make any sense. I have a standing desk in my office. I stand for 8 hours a
Maybe
day.
it
But if you're not
tell.
moving,
Yeah.
you have to like actually move, swaying or
Starts
moving
doing
back
like
forth.
side to side lunges.
Yeah. So
I'll
literally-
tell you a story about doing that
on
last
Sunday
what I
night.
did.
So I didn't wear my watch for like 2 hours when I showered or whatever. So it's Sunday night. I'm 2 hours on my stand short of reaching my goal of 12 or whatever. So at 11 o'clock before I go to bed, I literally put it on. It's like 11:50. I put it on, or 10:50. I put it on. I stand. I'm like, okay, I got that. I got in bed. 11:01. I put it back on. I stood up for a minute and got back in bed.
Really
and then I wake up in the
dedicated.
morning. Yeah, because I'm competitive. And I wake up in the morning. I'm like, neither of those counted. Or are you kidding me? And I'm working out and I'm pissed off as hell in the morning. So that's how I Googled it. And it says you have to actively like stand and move for a minute.
There was a time last week where I was like 50 calories away from my goal and I was going to bed and I was like, I'm hitting this today. Like I didn't hit it the day
Babe,
before.
wake up.
High intensity interval training now. Grab the foreplay.
Did you hear the story? Some guy got caught cheating on his wife or something because she got a notification on her phone or something. You hear that story?
Okay.
so.
No,
Like
what's
3
the
a.m.
story?
and he said he was sleeping and basically I guess he was piping and
Wait,
his
what?
his
He was
watch
doing
went
what?
off. This is like a random
Piping?
person piping,
Like hooking up.
like clapping cheeks.
Oh God.
But like
You
speaking
kids in your term.
Kids, I think we're older than you, Kylie.
of, what you were saying last night about like the 50 calories short, I was 45 short last night, and I was like 11 o'clock, and I'm on my couch. Swear to God, I
Beating
ate like
off.
a bag of like Smart Sweet. No,
Smart
that's
sweet.
not what I did.
I had to say that one. You teed me up for
Turn it
that.
on, left hand. No, so I don't know why I said that. But anyways, I got up last night. I was on the couch, like ready to pass out. I had eaten. I was like, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna lose this.
Of course, you
But
just
anyways,
fish eating.
So I honestly, I ate a bag of Smart Sweets.
Do you
whatever.
like those?
I love them.
I love them too.
I love any candy, but that's kind of healthy. It's all fiber.
I'm like a Sour Patch Kids kind of girl. Sorry,
Oh.
go ahead.
There's ones they make that are like Sour Patch that are pretty
I was
good.
gonna say favorite candy. Sorry to cut you off.
Sour
Wait,
Patch
Sour
Kids.
Patch?
Favorite candy.
Like you,
Oh.
George, you gotta pick one.
We're talking about working out now.
Probably
Pivot to
wine
candy.
gums.
Really?
Yeah, weird, eh?
Oh,
I love.
I feel like
wine
that's an
gums.
old man candy.
it's my dad likes
It's like
those.
Jube Jubes,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
okay.
Like Jube Jubes is an old person
No,
candy.
Jubes I don't like. Wine gums I think are good.
Wine gums, final answer.
I like nibs a lot, which are kind of
Oh,
boring.
I love
No,
nibs.
nibs is a
too.
Nibs I like because they rhyme with movie
Nibs at the
theaters.
movie-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Man, we're all, so many vibes today. We're all the same. We're on the same wavelength.
You actually, sorry,
Let's
when
get
someone
some nibs going. Ricky, what's your favorite candy?
Either probably
Patch
sour.
Kids.
No, the peach rings. Not
Ooh.
those peach circles. Not fuzzy peaches. Peach
Okay.
rings.
my
Ooh,
dad.
like the fluffy ones?
No, they're
They're
like,
like squishy?
Yeah.
but
I
they
don't
have,
like
it's like a
those.
circle
I
with
know what
a
you're talking
dot in the
about.
middle.
Like
Like
a
a-
hole in the middle.
I
hole-
love
yeah, the hole in the
Bulk
middle, sorry.
Barn.
Oh, I live right above one.
Do you see me like baking all this random?
Do you know what you make that are really good? Your protein balls. My mom makes the same ones. Those are good.
So good. I'm like, I get so crafty in the kitchen because I try my best to make everything super healthy, but also like so good. And
Yeah.
it's so hard. I'm just like whipping random things together. I'm like, maybe I add baking soda or baking powder. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just like blend it all together and then put it in muffin trays. Like, I'm just kind of like experimenting and making these little concoctions. And yeah, it's so fun. But I haven't experimented making healthy candy. I just, I'd rather just buy it. That's
Yeah.
like seems like
That's
too
what-
much
that's
work.
exactly
It's like
where I
all
am.
weird
I'd rather
ingredients.
just buy
and
it. But
just-
Elaine, on the other hand, she cooks up everything.
I'll
Yeah.
send,
Again,
I'll
why I'm
send her
living at home
some
right
like
now.
super healthy paleo banana bread that she'll probably love. It's so good.
Banana bread's been like the goat. Do you see that Instagram thing of whatever banana bread's publicist or whatever? That was one of the funniest things I've seen. It's like, girl, you're not gonna believe this. It's like, we did it. Honestly, that guy.
I love the internet for that
yeah,
stuff.
see, like,
it's,
there's
it's
some
so
funny things.
funny.
Yeah.
It's just
The internet always it always wins. Like it's like it's crazy.
If it doesn't win, it's because you haven't spent enough time on it.
yeah.
yeah,
Honestly,
you got to
it's
get to
so
the
good.
good memes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many good
The
ones.
ones that really
Jumping
resonate.
back, I just told me
Yeah.
my story.
Sorry.
It wasn't even a good story. I just walked around I was gonna
Oh, yeah.
say it.
Go
To get
on.
the 45 calories, I paced around my condo for the 7 minutes, and Rick's still beating me. That's the most. That's the end of my story. It wasn't even that good. Are you gonna keep eating that, bro?
I just want to try to get
He's hungry. He's thinking about candy.
No, I got a little it's the taste in my mouth. I'm like, I just
So
caught
I
my-
might. You know what I might do now tonight? I
This is
bought-
me doing that.
No. Ew.
So Tom and I wanted to have a launch party, and we were like, "How hilarious and
Invite
amazing
porn
would
stars.
it be?" Well, number one, yeah. But how amazing would it be if we did like vanilla cupcakes or like something and use it as frosting because it's edible, like completely edible. There's nothing in it that you can't eat. So we just thought it would be like a fun concept, and we still want to do a launch party, but
You have to do it near Halloween and do like a Hugh Hefner Playboy kind of party.
ooh, scandalous. I
Yeah,
love
well, think about
that.
it's Halloween, so it is already. If you did it on a random Wednesday, that'd be kind of
Oh,
tough.
we were
but-
thinking like outdoor backyard party where we have like maybe like Rye Shep DJ and like, or I don't know, or
Yeah.
host it at like Ruby Soho because Tom's,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
they're good ideas.
working
that'd
with
be
those
sweet.
boys.
If we do the beer Olympics this year, we'll get you in
We'll
that.
be a sponsor.
Yeah, we'll get you in that.
Let's do a fun contest.
Let's
We
do it.
honestly will.
What are we gonna do? What do you think we should do?
I mean, we've done so many that have like, I mean, as a way to build awareness and brand and community.
Send us your best sex videos.
Oh, no, I was gonna say something, but I can't not say that. on the
Best sex
spot.
position wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Name your.
Name your favorite
Okay,
porn
maybe
star.
we'll brainstorm like
Yeah, we'll
after
think of
this.
something.
Yeah,
We'll brainstorm
yeah,
off.
okay.
Guys,
If you have any
contest coming
recos,
for some
Yeah.
foreplay butter. Listen, if you're for everybody. If you're lonely, you can use it. You can eat it. I mean, whatever. Just support.
you don't
It's
have
great
to be
brand.
lonely. Don't
I'm
single
kidding.
people
I'm
out.
kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Listen, as someone who, never mind. No, honestly,
Retract,
we'll run
retract.
a good we'll run
Yeah.
a contest for it. It's a great product. So we gotta show some love.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What?
because we're done the foreplay talk now, Kai, this was one of my. I have one question.
Oh.
One question written down on my notepad today.
He's nervous. He's fumbling. People.
Well, you know, because I don't know the story. That's why I'm curious. So on my way over, I heard the song "Just Friends" by Virginia to Vegas, and it is a banger. I do
I
enjoy
don't even
it.
know what song this is. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Play it off the air. But Kai, I know the story
Off
is
the air? What does that mean?
low key about you. So tell us,
Oh my gosh.
how do you get a song written about you?
My watch
Wait, the
is
song's
gonna,
written about you?
the watch is gonna go into full work mode because like you're making
Guy's gonna
my,
go into like sprinting.
This song is wait, what? Just Friends is written
Yeah.
about you?
okay, so
31 million plays?
I don't know where to start. So
Take us to the
hold
beginning.
on.
okay,
How do you not know the song?
this
This
is
is written about you.
yes,
Okay,
I
okay.
can confirm. Yes, it was also ran by me before he released it, so like there's no like animosity.
We're gonna
or
get him. We're
anything
gonna get
there.
him on. We're gonna get him on.
He
next.
probably would come on. He's a super chill guy.
Next episode. Let's go.
Yep. Let's
'Kay,
go,
let's
Derek.
hear it.
Anyway, so I don't even know where to start. So one of my best friends, Katie, knew this guy from Guelph, introduced me to him. His name is Derek, and he's Virginia to Vegas. And she was trying to set us up for like a super long time, and I was always in a relationship, and timing just never worked
Classic.
out to go on a date. So finally, we like go on this date. We meet at Ride Cycle Club. We go for brunch. It's like this whole situation.
Wow. Some
Go to
morning date.
Kensington, spend the day together. Go to the Drake at night. My girlfriend Jen joins us.
Holy crap! That's
And-
a 12-hour date.
Yeah, it was honestly a 12-hour date. Like,
Wow, kudos to him. Man. That's
no,
that's
it was
solid,
great. I was
yeah.
like, Kate, peace, see you later, whatever. Nothing like, nothing from then like transpired except a bunch of like, messages and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And then
it flared out.
yeah, so long story short, I go to Coachella and
What year was this when you went?
this was last year.
Oh,
This was 2019. Yeah. So I go to Coachella. It's like April or whenever.
We were supposed to
And
go.
Yeah,
he's
we
like,
were, yeah.
he's like, you know, we're still chatting and like, you know, nothing's come from it, but he lets me know that he's like in California and he's going to Coachella now. So I was like, oh, amazing. And then he's like, yeah, I think I'm coming to the pre you're at. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, come into my car. Somehow, I guess he rented a car and, you know, we're at a pre and I'm like, okay, I'm going to come into your car outside of this massive pre before Coachella day
Like,
one.
no.
And he's like, I have a song to show you. And I was like, okay, cool. Like he was playing music for me and stuff during that day. So I was familiar with like who he was and stuff. And yeah, just long story short, he played me the song and he said, you know, I wrote the song about like our
12-hour date.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it was amazing. And I was like, this is going to be your song. Like, this is going to be a fucking banger. Like, not only because it's about me. No, but
You should be like, I want to be in the music video. Hello.
No. And so the image of the actual like album cover is like him and I.
Come on. Yeah, Apple's back up now.
Go on
Oh. Wait.
Let's see. I gotta see too. I've never seen this.
Wait.
Anyway, so that's the
Wait, that's a
story.
real picture? Like, it was
No,
drawn?
no. It's just like a,
Yeah, a sketch.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
anyway, so yeah, that's it.
That's
I
funny.
mean, I don't want to get like too much into it, but we're still friends. Like everything's good. It's a really hilarious story, and I told my parents, and like no one believed me. I was like, okay, I'm not. Why would I ever make that?
Why
up?
would I
Like,
lie about it?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, Mom? Taylor Swift wrote a song about me.
Yeah, it's like Drake just wrote, like, you know what I mean? It's like he's amazing. He's so talented, but like I would just never go there. But yeah, the people that like were there that day and like know the story, it's just like so funny to chat about. And yeah,
Okay, we can stop the watch.
my heart rate at
2 kilometers.
Hey, that's honestly a great story.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
fun.
You guys were trying to like, you were saying something before about this song. I don't really understand. I thought Virginia to Vegas was like a drive or something. That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah. Well,
Great
now you're all
story.
caught up. So
No, that's a great
yeah,
story.
you're part of the
Part of- I'm
combo.
in the loop
Yeah,
now.
I
you're
remember
in the
seeing
loop.
something on Instagram or Snapchat. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, the song's actually about you. You're like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah, it like kind of took off.
I need
But
to hear that
anyway, it's a
whole
great
story.
song, and like, yeah, good for him. And I mean, you got to find inspiration somewhere to write all these songs about, right? There's so many songs out there, so I totally get it. But it must have been a great
guys,
date.
like, of course.
Yeah.
Anybody else, if you need to write a
It's been
song,
great date.
here I am.
I would love to be your inspo for your next music video.
Speaking of Coachella, is it your first time going?
It was.
How'd you like it?
Oh my gosh. Well, like after Coachella, I was like, I am never going back, and
Yeah.
I hate everyone. And
that Monday.
See you
You mean
never.
the Monday?
and I left that Monday. So yeah,
You left
but
right the
now,
next day, you're out.
yeah,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
week after I like, you know, got my things and life back in order, I'm so sad I couldn't go this year, and
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the crew and the lifelong friends I made, and it was honestly the most magical experience of all time.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing better than heat, sun, your best friends, like alcohol. Like it was just
Music,
like
yeah, like
euphoric.
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my god. And oh my gosh, and I was going to say this year, because usually I teach yoga at Digital Dreams, and that's not happening this year. So I mean, I was so looking forward to not going to Coachella, but also like going to Dreams and being able to have that full experience again, because I've been doing that for a couple of years, and I'm like so upset that it's
Yeah,
not
it's-
happening,
it
but I
sucks
know
that's
there's
not
a bigger picture here. So
no, even on that, like what you're saying about Coachella,
Mhm.
it's so true because we did Coachella twice.
Yeah, 2015, 2016.
What was the big one? 2015.
2015 was
They're
the
all
best
big.
year.
The 10-day
So
bender?
like no, but if that was 10 days.
So that we
but
spent
hold on,
10.
just for obviously just for context. But if you look at the lineup from 2015, it's
who was it?
insane.
Who was the headliners?
Drake,
Oh my
Rihanna.
Stop there.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
The Weeknd wasn't even a headliner.
crazy.
Like Matoma brought out
Ja
like
Rule.
Ja Rule
or DMX or something.
No, DMX and
Sean Paul.
yeah.
Or
I don't know. It's
Shaggy.
crazy. Kygo was there that
Kygo
year.
was there. This one,
Kygo was
before
playing
the-
like a side stage. Cascade
Sierra
Cascade
Kid.
played main
Okay, I
stage.
love-
Didn't
I have a
Eminem
thing
come
for
out with
Cascade.
Rihanna or something?
Eminem Rihanna was Lollapalooza.
Oh, then it was Kanye that came out with someone.
Oh, the Weeknd. Okay, this is my favorite story about Coachella ever.
Actually, yeah, I know exactly what you're about to say.
So it's I think it's the second. It's either right before Drake played like the headline on the Saturday, or yeah, I think it was the Weeknd was on right before Drake, something like that.
You look
and
good,
we're-
Kai. Don't worry. You're looking. I looked at the camera just to see it. Kai's looking at me like, okay.
We're on the side of the main stage on the left side, facing it, and the Weeknd's playing, and like he's sick. I think he's one of the. I think live, like he
He's
sounds the
so
same as his albums.
talented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great
Just-
voice. He starts singing a song from 808 and Heartbreaks, Kanye's album. That was like my favorite album in high school. And he starts like going into the song Heartless, like a woman so heartless, whatever. And he's singing it. And I was like, I have it on video. Like I'm recording this and I'm like, oh my guys, Kanye West coming out. And you hear my buddy Dave's like, no way. I was like, man, he's singing Heartless. The music lights go off. And then Kanye comes out to what song Don't Like? Yeah, whatever.
George just finished all his activity rings too. Like this is BS. I'm so cheesed right now.
Oh,
I'm
but-
so
baby,
cheesed right
we
now.
win.
No, I'm still beating both of you guys.
Nah.
But yeah,
Yeah, when Kanye came out, that was like,
It's just like jaw dropping. It's
Yeah.
honestly just see that type of sheer talent. Like I think musicians are the most out of any profession. Like I get athletes, I get it all. Like I'm obsessed with sports, but music to me is just like, oh, it's just
crazy.
anytime, any place. Like it always makes you feel so good. And I don't know. It's just the talent that you see on stage there is like insane.
it's so funny. I guess it's not that funny, but I go to
You always
I-
say that.
funny, buddy.
I go to so
It's
many
so funny.
concerts, and
You
like
do.
people
You're
have always
concert
asked, like,
king.
who's your favorite concert you've ever seen? And ever since I saw this performer, my answer has not changed. Hands down, Adele. I knew maybe 3 songs, like "Rolling in the Deep" and
Her
like
pipes. Oh, wow.
whatever her other
Yeah.
like radio
Pipes.
bangers are.
She's got some pipes.
This lady did not move from her where she stood on the stage. Like I'm not kidding. Like she stood in the same spot and swayed sides. But her voice, like when I mean you feel it in your heart and your soul, and you're just like all the
Oh, you
feels.
melt.
And then at the end, the confetti like shoots out, and they all have handwritten notes, like not handwritten, but like they're written and stamped on. And I just remember, I'm like, oh my god, I caught like 4, and it's like you're loved or
beautiful.
something. You're beautiful.
Rick
Like,
starts crying.
and I'm just like, oh my god.
I love that you're in touch with your emotions.
Man,
Are
I
you
loved
guys?
it.
Do you guys like Billie Eilish?
There's a couple.
I like the main songs.
Yeah, maybe
So
a couple
no,
songs.
not really.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so I actually
I'll read
funny-
between the
you know what?
lines.
No,
No, I
I
like the
actually
main
do.
I'm obsessed
You
with
know
her
when
right now.
how I start to like so Billie Eilish I would have like never listened to, but I actually have this thing. I watch Saturday Night Live a lot, and any artist that performs on Saturday Night Live, I kind of like. I see them perform and I'm like, oh, this person's sick. That's why I started liking Bruno Mars in like 2015. He played, he was sick. Billie Eilish saw perform. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, she's super talented, and yeah.
For me, it's at the Grammys. Like if a person cleans up, like when Mumford cleaned up maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I had no idea who Mumford and Sons was. The next day, I was like, you know what? These guys won like 5 awards. I need to.
My new
Google.
favorite artist.
Basically, I
Yeah,
fell in love
yeah.
with them, and then Billie Eilish like cleaned up again this year. That's why I was like, hey, look, who?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. And then you listen to like her radio bangers, and you're like, hey, these are bangers.
She's edgy. She kind of like speaks to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's kind of
Are you? Is that how you describe yourself? Edgy?
No. I'm just like, that's like a persona I would like love to be able to exude. I just like think her energy is like,
It's like
like,
your spirit
so
animal.
like, yeah, she's like badass. She just
Yeah.
doesn't care. And that's like so cool. I think in 2020, like you know, if you can do that and you can really just be genuine, and she's also like 18 or 17 or something.
Is she
and, like,
really?
Yeah, she's
her
young, very young.
brother Phineas is the guy who's like the other on the guitar. It's like they're this whole
Crazy.
you have to watch her. Honestly, get on YouTube. YouTube is like so
She have a
king in my life
documentary?
right now. She just has a million just different
A little bit,
biographies
doesn't it?
and
yeah.
stuff on her. But
What's
Yeah.
your favorite? Since we're on that topic, what's your
Mhm.
favorite concert you've ever been to, or like live performance you've seen?
oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm like
Virginia to Vegas.
got it. I've never actually seen him live. I don't know. I've been to so many concerts. It's like impossible to
Yeah.
say. Like, because I also love like more like electronic music. So like Disclosure and like those types of
Oh.
concerts as well. Where it's impossible. for me.
Rufus.
Yours is what, Adele?
Rufus is like
Adele's mine, no
has
questions
my
asked.
heart.
Like
Best
that.
con-
Yeah.
Second for me is like a close second. Coldplay Skydome.
Yeah.
I was at that
Dome
concert.
open,
Yeah.
like
oh.
the little stupid wristbands that are lined up. I'm like, yeah, like a little 16-year-old girl doesn't care. Had a blast.
Mine's J. Cole. I saw J. Cole live in 2017. One of the best concerts I've ever seen, I think. I don't know why. I
I think I was
was
there too,
waiting to
actually.
see him.
Stuck with you,
Forest
yeah.
Still Drives, one of my favorite albums of all time, and I saw him and I was like, this guy is sick. He stood on the stage, played his whole album start to finish, and then all his bangers at the end. And he said, I'll play my whole album. If you don't like my songs, you can leave at any point and go to the washroom, but I'm going through the whole album. And it was like one of the coolest concerts. But
That's so cool.
yeah, I guess on that note,
Kylie,
Oh god, in the hot seat.
if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to star as you?
That's such a tough question, actually, and I
Billie
know
Eilish.
you've watched.
We haven't asked the girl this question yet.
So,
true.
Bex came on before we
I'm just
started
gonna
asking this.
caveat, like I'm really bad at names of actresses and actors and singers and artists and stuff like that, and I'm really bad at movie titles. But recently, during COVID, I watched The Hunger Games. Have you guys watched
Yeah,
The
of
Hunger
course.
Games? Okay, so I saw it for the first time. I've never
Katniss
seen.
Everdeen. How does she do it?
Jennifer Lawrence.
She's great.
She is.
She's
I just
great.
think she's like.
She's very
so-
versatile
I
actress.
do like her.
She's so just badass. She's a leader. She doesn't, give a fuck kind of. She's just like brave and like understated sexy. Like she's not trying too hard to like look hot. She's just like so beautiful. And
Yeah.
I just love her energy. I just think she's like super
I see that.
inspo. So yeah, I would say her at this moment because I remember the movie and because I think she's pretty cool.
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
I remember when I
agree?
watched.
You can see her? You can see it?
I can see it. I can see it.
I watched that movie, and I'm a big Hunger Games guy. Not the books, obviously, but
Let's be clear.
watched
That's a
the
big
movie.
Harry Potter guy too, not the
So
books.
I went to the movie and like randomly, it's like packed theater. I just remember whistling. Like I did that, and then the whole theater did it back, and it was so
that's
cool.
like
Isn't that cool?
that's
cool.
like
You're a
heart
loser.
palpitations.
Well, you know what? I guess
Cool.
I'm not
It
that
is
good.
cool.
But
is
it was
cool.
cool. The whole
But-
theater did it.
But I could see you doing something like that. So I think
It was like a quiet, random moment where they're like, I don't know, on the train going to the games or something. I don't know. It was sick though. It was sick.
Last one.
Mhm.
I think you know what we're gonna ask. If you could give one piece of advice
She's got the answer written
to a
down
young
for sure.
guy,
I
What-
know. I know these. I've
what would
learned
you-
a lot.
what would you tell yourself?
Uh-oh, the watch is back on.
No, it's like so hard to pinpoint one thing because I mean, every day there's just, something new you're learning and trying to implement. The one thing that I think I would tell my younger self is just to like stay in your lane, like keep your blinders up, don't necessarily worry about what everyone else around you is doing because essentially it's not going to help you progress in your own journey. Like it's sometimes great to look at others for inspiration, but if you're doing it in a kind of demonizing way where, you're looking at people and feeling less than, and it's not really productive or proactive for you, I don't think there's any value in that. And that's come up for me a bunch throughout my life where I feel like, I get fixated on comparison or like, what's she doing over there? And it's at the end of the day, like literally it doesn't matter. Everyone is on kind of their own page and, there's no right and wrong to doing this. So yeah, just kind of focus on yourself and
I like it.
Stay
I
in your
like
lane.
it.
That
I like it a lot.
do you mentality. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're competing against yourself, like not about
You write your own
somebody else.
story.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
like
that.
it. Well, Kai,
There we are.
thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, such a great conversation. Love having you.
I missed you both dearly. So
I know it's so nice to see you
I
too
know.
again.
Yeah.
It's
Like
been a while.
miss those
It's
faces,
been good.
those
It's been
tan faces with white teeth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Colgate,
how tan. I've
Crest.
not been in the sun. Like
Maybe
yeah.
it's the dark facial hair. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Maybe.
George has these nice
Yeah.
Got a
dimming
nice,
lights.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice glow right now. It's the lighting.
But yeah, we'll share the link for Foreplay for
Yeah.
here. We'll share it on Instagram. We're gonna run a contest. We'll figure out how to do that, and we'll announce the winner some point next week. But again, Kai, thank you so much. If people want to hear more about you, your life, your brand, where should they go?
You can go to foreplaybutter.com. That's the brand website, or at foreplaybutter, or at Kai McLeod is my real Instagram account, and then my food blog or Finsta food account is at the Blissful Belly.
We didn't get to talk about that.
There's lots of channels
we'll
there.
save that for next time.
Yeah.
If you need spicy margarita recipes, if you're looking to make some
I take no
banana
credit.
bread,
Yeah.
acai bowls, Blissful Belly.
We'll
All right.
tag them all. We'll
Yeah.
tag them all. And
Thank
yeah,
you
guys. Oh,
Sign
awesome.
off, pals. Cheers.
Thanks, pals.
Thanks.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Gotta know one thing. You're not alright. I'm not alright. You're not alright, I'm not alright. I like to drink and smoke, take away the pain. And you don't remember all of your mistakes and when our hearts are broken.